31 years ago, a beautiful, healthy baby girl named April was born. This girl, under the care and supervision of a lovely family, would grow to be one of the most caring, generous, loving people I have ever met. Once I worked up the nerve to ask her to bless me with the next 50 years of her life, hopefully as a minimum, she honored me by accepting my proposal. Fast forward 3 years and she is blessing me again with our daughter Genevieve. When we were given a blanket that April's grandmother made for her when she was a baby, I knew I had to make something to honor her grandmother's work and to say thank you for all the love and dedication that April has blessed me with. So, that's what this shadow box is. A thank you to my wife and a way to pay homage to her grandmother. After cutting and milling the sides to length, it was time to add the dado that would hold the plywood back in place. I chose pocket holes for the joinery on this project because they're more than strong enough for the application, and with custom walnut plugs they should blend into the frame pretty nicely, putting the focus where it belongs on the blanket. Now, coming up, you're about to see a pretty big screw-up that I think turned into a nice design feature. The bit slipped in the collet and dropped down about a quarter, an eighth of an inch, and dug into the corner frame. And so I went ahead and finished rounding over everything else while I contemplated how to fix this issue, because I sure didn't want to cut that off the depth of the box. Eventually I came around to the idea that I kind of liked it, and if I made it symmetrical and on all four quarters, it might be a pretty nice addition to otherwise a basic square box. So I set my adjustable square, found the length of that cut. Sorry, my head kept getting in the way here. And I made a nice little corner detail. I did that on all four corners, and then pretty quickly came to the lacquer. This is woodworking for mere mortals, Steve Ramsey's favorite finish, spray-on lacquer. And I didn't want to see any hardware on this blanket, and I didn't want to make any permanent modifications to it, so we stitched a couple of washers on the back, and I grabbed some of these really high-powered neodymium magnets, and I'm going to epoxy them after I sand up and scuff up the bottom of them and the plywood beneath them. I'm going to use both because the CA glue should provide a really quick bond and the epoxy will provide a really strong bond. I don't think that I need the epoxy, but I figured it was better safe than sorry. These magnets have 90 pounds of pull force at their face, so I didn't want them to, if we were moving this in the future, for them to come flying off and hit something. So I figured with Genevieve having at least half my jeans that I should use a French cleat to mount this to the wall, since she may try to climb on it in the future. And the piece here that's mounting on the back of the frame is full length, but I cut the part that mounts to the wall about an inch shorter, and that'll give us an inch of play one way or the other when we're putting this on the wall, so that if I don't mount it perfectly to the wall, I have a little bit of leeway. I'm going to use CA glue and wood glue here again, so that I can get kind of a quick bond that will hold until the wood glue has a chance to set up. Once that wood glue sets up, I'm not concerned about this coming off the back of the frame at all. And once I let all that dry for a little bit, it was time to come in and mark the studs, transfer those to my French cleat, countersink and drill the holes, and mount the French cleat to the wall. Here I am showing the washers that April stitched onto the back of the blanket, and you will see it doesn't quite have enough holding power. So we did go in and put some larger washers in place so that there was a little more meat for those magnets to pull against, and it's sitting nicely now. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Anything that you can do of those three really helps me out.
I'm glad we framed it.